I left everybody else backstage just because this spot isn't that big. It's amazing what we experience every day, the diversity, the differences, all of the wonders of this world. And they're all because of us. We bring it. And every day, you get up and something's going to happen. You have to go to school. You have to go to work. Whatever it is, you have to. Stuff happens. And you can't stop it. And you can't change it. It's going to happen. As far as the stuff concerns, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It isn't. It just happens. That's life. That's what life is. The things that happen. And we, together, make them happen. Now, you got to ask yourself, when stuff happens, am I one of those people that says, why did that happen to me? It doesn't matter if I went our way or not. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad because the stuff doesn't care. But why me? If you're one of those people, you have to understand where that comes from. We all have our influences. We all have our story. The people that have been out here before me have shared with you who they are. And it's going to make you who you are at some point. It will go with you. It will grow with you. You would be attracted to what you've experienced and what you enjoy and what you like. And those are the people in your village. My name is Anthony Michael Gabriel Melillo. And I'm very proud of that. I grew up in a big Italian family where love was at the core of everything. Now, we weren't perfect, obviously. But there were so many people that it's a good bet just about every weekend there was going to be a birthday party and we were all going to be together. And we celebrated that. And please and thank you mattered every time, especially with the older ones. You'd get a pinch on the cheek if you forgot to please or thank you, because that was about respect. That was about the pride of our name. You see, if any one of us did anything great, of course we celebrated. But if any one of us did anything that affected the family name, it affected us all. We were intertwined. We were connected. And again, the basis of that was love. And that's what we all have, no matter what. We have that to offer. And in this big family, I can tell you, we faced problem after problem, tragedy after tragedy. But we were all in it together. And we looked out for one another. And you can count on that. And I did. I believed I had a wonderful childhood. So many happy memories. My siblings may disagree about certain times or certain aspects of it, but that's their view, not mine. I realized I wanted to choose to hold on to those things instead of negative things, which is like a big bag that just keeps growing larger and larger and gets heavier and heavier to carry. No wonder why so many people are walking around out there like this. Don't make it so hard on yourself. Okay? In the face of our stories, I know that my family could solve almost any problem with food. Big table. If you didn't like the pasta, that's fine because there's veal over there. Or there's salad over there. The meatballs are great. Eat as many as you want. We go through these experiences and for whatever reason, hold on to them. One of my favorite things in the world to do is sit down and dine. And I like to enjoy it. And I wouldn't take pictures of it and send them to everybody. I know that's weird, but I'm an old guy, and old guys don't do those things. We sit and enjoy it for about 2 hours. Okay? In 10 days, I will be celebrating the 25-year anniversary of falling 3 stories, 35 feet, from a training structure, bouncing off of a railing, smashing my lower back, trying to avoid a staircase, and landing on my elbows, knees, forearms, and face. One of the hats that Mrs. Del Rey so eloquently put that I've worn was with a response team. It was a kind of a SWAT unit in the state prison system of California. And on that day, of all the things that I had prepared myself for, and all of the things that I had worked hard to approach in certain ways, and all of the influences and gifts that I got from all of the people, within my family, outside my family, teachers, coaches, mentors, friends, other kids, moms and dads, all of those things that were given to me in that moment could have disappeared. I landed on my face. There's a mark here where the cement rubbed against my forehead. And of all the things that could have happened in that tragic moment, the one that I never expected actually did. I stood up. I didn't lose consciousness. I had clinically broken my neck and back. We didn't know for a couple of weeks later. But I got up and walked away. It wasn't long before I was thinking, why me? You know, we go through life and tragedy occurs. And we hold on to each other. And we talk about the loss of someone. And we watch how naturally you respond. And you hold each other up. And you help carry the pain. And that's a beautiful thing because that's the true nature of who we are. That's humanness. That's our connection. We are all in it together. If you didn't come from a big family like me, it doesn't matter. We're here. I had a choice that I had to make. I couldn't return to being a hero SWAT cop type of guy. I always had this vision in my head that my life would end in some heroic act, and it actually almost did. Minute lack of focus. One little mistake that I can't even figure out still. But bigger than that, I can't figure out why me. I got up and walked away. I had to walk into a new life. One that wasn't planned or prepared because, effectively, how many people survive that? I didn't even have this tragic story where people could look at me and see there was a significant difference physically that I had to contend with. So we go through these tragedies and we make the effort. And then every other day, there's all these little opportunities that we miss to make those same efforts. I come here every day and I try to give everyone I see a smile. I try to build people up. I try to be positive because I have this new opportunity from 25 years ago. And so in deciding where I was going to go from there, I went back to school and became a teacher. Now, I've done a lot of things in between, and it's pretty clear that it's a really diverse effort in life, if you will. But I challenge you to point out something other than the one commonality that was in all of the jobs that I've done, and that has been people. My passion specifically is for young people. What I learned from my family about looking out for one another, I tried to carry into life. And the people that influenced me, like teachers or like neighbors or other kids' moms, who would always call my mom and say, you know what he was doing this afternoon. I value that because it helped me make that choice. It helped me decide, this is what I want to do. I want to use what I have now. Because the slate has been erased. I had 2 children at the time. I didn't have a whole possibility of future in front of me. I was 30 years old, 31 years old. But I had the most amazing experience not too long before that, and that was meeting my wife. and getting married. And if someone like that is willing to stand beside me for the rest of my life, well, I must be something special because I bounced off the concrete and got up and walked away. I must be something special. I haven't achieved a whole lot of extraordinary things in my life. I've done a lot of things. But I like to think I take ordinary things and do them in an extraordinary way. And that's those little things every day that we can do for each other, with each other. At the same time, during about 2 years of recovery, when I was going to school, becoming a teacher, I was introduced to a teacher, motivational speaker, an expert. His name is Dr. Leo Buscaglia. He's known as the Love Doctor. And he spoke academically about love, and there's some interesting things about it. One of the things that he says is, it's not enough that we have lived. We should be determined to live for something. His suggestion is that using the gifts we have, like the people that have stood up here before me today to share, to give them away, to bring joy to other lives, to bring joy to the lost, love to the lonely. We work at it. One of the other things, and I knew this because I looked at my life before, and just as I had no control over the stuff that happens every day, this thing happened. I had no control over being able to get up and walk away from it. There's two forces at work, Dr. Buscaglia says, external and internal. External things like floods, tornadoes, disasters, hurricane, illness, pain. We have no control over those things. But we have 100% control over how we respond to them. And every day when you get up, you know, and if you didn't before, you know now, stuff is going to happen. I use the word stuff. We're all used to a different word when we say it happens. But I'm reluctant to put that label on what my life is, because stuff happens is life. And when I'm done, my life isn't going to be excrement, I can promise you that. So we have a choice. We can take these things head on. We can be a participant. When stuff happens, you decide. You can respond to it positively or negatively. It's up to you. Sounds simple. But if you want to be happy, just do it. Just be happy, because it's a choice. Just like, do I respond positive or do I respond negatively? So you can't control the external forces, you can only control you. And in that control, you have two simple choices, positive or negative. Negative comes from the training that we've had with the influences and the people and our story and all of that, our experiences, and no one can begrudge that. But it gets heavy. I don't tell lies to young people. I tell good stories. But I tell the truth, because what good is it for me to fill your head with something that isn't so? I look at life as an opportunity now. And for 25 years, each year I have one day, May 1st, to remember that I made this commitment to make a difference. It's not as cheesy to me to say a teacher makes a difference, because every one of us can be a teacher. You have what it takes. You have you. No one can be better at you than you. You can only be the second best somebody else, because they're already the best them. So be you. And we've been shared that already today. But do it positively. Make the decision, make the conscious choice to say, come on, stuff. I'm going to put the effort into making it positive. When we look at this idea of a village, helping all of us go from a child to an adult, to help us shape a view of a world that we can't possibly understand fully. I'm still learning. I'm still working at it. I still am the 4-year-old asking why as many times as you'll answer it. And you should be too, because that's the purpose. It gives you more stuff to share. And the more you give away, guess what? The more you get. An actor from the old days, they'll know who I'm talking about, John Wayne, said tomorrow is the greatest thing in life. It comes to us every day at midnight, clean. It places itself in our hands, and it hopes that we learned something from yesterday. You are tomorrow. I stand here as someone who has learned over time what it means to be part of the village. Teachers, friends, parents, random people from the community put time and effort into educating, raising, showing you what it's like to be human. Because our hope is you become someone that is part of our village, so that you can take tomorrow forward as a participant, not a spectator who says, "Why me?" Someone who can take all of the words and put them into action. And maybe, just maybe, when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, you can look that person in the eye and say, "Why not me?"